On the last video, we talked about adding a new user, and we added Mr. Benson, which I told you is the engineer and is the one making my voice sound this awesome. Now, on this section of the video, we're going to talk about the settings panel. Okay, so now it's actually time for us to set some custom settings on our website. So we could actually set the title of our site in this general settings option. So I got here by clicking on the settings and going to general. On the general section, we could change things more, such as the site title. For instance, if I go to my site right here, I would notice that if I hover on this tab on my browser, I would see my new site, just another WordPress site. Now, if I want to change that, I can change that in the general settings section. So maybe I want to change that to something like my professional site, site. I could do that right here, and I'm going to say in the tagline section I could write something, or I could remove completely. So for now, I just want to remove completely because I don't feel like having any tagline there. And apart from that, we have the WordPress address URL. Okay, for some reason, if you bought your WordPress host and domain in one place, you might actually not need to configure this section of the general settings field. But if you buy it in a different place, you might actually have a need to. But since we're following the defaults, let's just leave it that way. And now we have site address URL here. Okay, it says enter the address here if you want your site homepage to be different from your WordPress installation directory. So let's say, for instance, you have your site homepage is facebook.com and WordPress is installed in a different server or domain. Okay, you could actually specify it here, but for now I'm just going to leave the way it is, the default. Okay, and email address, this is the email address we're using, and say this email address is used for admin purposes. If you change this, they will send you an email at your new email address to confirm it. Okay, so if I'm going to change this, I need to confirm it, else it's not going to change. Then they have the membership settings, where I can change the membership status to anyone can register or not. Now if you want anyone to register on your site, you click this. Now if I remove this, means that users would not be able to register on my site, and you need to take note of that. That's on the default. When you uncheck this, when you check this, anyone can register, and when you uncheck, no one can register on your site unless you add them through the administrative panel. Now apart from that, you can also set the user default role on the fly. That means when the user registers on the platform, what default role would the user be? So do you want the user to be a subscriber, a contributor, or author, an editor, or an administrator? So either one, but definitely you won't want registered users to be a site administrator. And the next thing we want to check about is the site language. Okay, you could change this language to whatever one you want. Okay, and then the time zone. Okay, I am in UTC +0. Okay, so you could change this to something that suits your needs. And then the date format, your date format, this is going to be attributed in the time you wrote an article or the time you uploaded an image. So the format you want this image to output is this is where you set that. And then you also have an option for time format, to format your time the way you want it. If you want it to be shown with the PM, AM, you have that. And also week starts on. If your week starts on Monday, fine, but I think in Africa week starts on Sunday. So but I'm just going to leave it on Monday for default purpose. Okay, then I want to do something crazy right now. I want to change the language to maybe Bosanski. Wow, it's quite a language. I'm going to save changes, and hopefully I'll be able to revert it back. So we just see the implementation of WordPress language and how it works. And for some reason, I have a page I can't read. So WordPress actually converted all of this for us. We can use any language we want that's available on the language. So I'm going to change this back to English. How do I change this back to English? Okay, this English, and save. I believe that's the save button. And bam, so we've actually rolled around the WordPress general settings option. And this option is quite important for the functionality of our site. Okay, so remember, no one will register on your site unless you enable the registration and the rest. So that's a wrap for this video, guys. I'll see you on the next session of the video, where we'll be talking about the writing functionality and the reading functionality, the way we want to enable it. If the writing functionality and the reading functionality, if we want to enable writing and reading we'll be talking about the writing and reading functionality in WordPress. See you on the next section of the video. Bye bye.